Chapter 12. The Middle Kingdom of Egypt. Egypt invades Nubia. Do you remember reading about the Old Kingdom of Egypt? The Egyptians of the Old Kingdom built pyramids and temples. They traded with the Babylonians and the Assyrians. They worshipped their gods, made mummies, buried treasure along with them. Egypt had good pharaohs and a strong army. Life in Egypt was good. But these peaceful times didn't last. The pharaohs of Egypt became weaker and weaker. They lost control of their armies. They even lost control of their own courts and temples. Priests and palace officials fought over who would be in charge. Egypt's power started to vanish. For a little while it seemed that Egypt might fall apart, just like the kingdom of Sargon did. But then around 1991 BC, a new ruler came to the throne of Egypt. His name was Amenemhet. Amenemhet wasn't a pharaoh. He was just worked for the government. But he was determined to make Egypt strong again. He seized the throne and became the new pharaoh of Egypt. This was the beginning of a new time in Egypt's history, the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. During the Middle Kingdom, Egypt became a powerful country once more. Amenemhet decided that his first job was to make Egypt bigger. He planned to conquer the countries that surrounded Egypt, and his first target was the kingdom of Nubia. Nubia was south of Egypt in Africa. Unlike the people of ancient West Africa, the Nubians didn't go down into the central part of Africa. After all, they had the Nile River for water, and the rich mud of the Nile overflowed for their crops, so the Nubian people stayed in their own country. The Nubians traveled up the Nile River to sell many beautiful things to the Egyptians. They sold ivory, animal furs, ostrich feathers, and gems, and they brought gold up into Egypt. Amenemhet knew that the Nubians dug gold out of the hills and ground of their kingdom. He thought that if he could become the ruler of Nubia, he would have plenty of treasure to make him rich. So Amenemhet set off to conquer Nubia. He fought dozens of battles against the Nubians, but finally he won. The Egyptians renamed Nubia Kush. They painted pictures of their new African subjects on the walls of their tombs. The pictures show Nubians carrying gold, ebony, incense, furs, and monkeys as presents to the Egyptians. For the next 700 years, the Nubians were ruled by the Egyptians. Slowly, they began to think of themselves as Egyptians. They learned the Egyptian language and followed the Egyptian religion and obeyed the Egyptian pharaoh. The Egyptians began to respect them, and they gained power of their own in Egypt. One Nubian woman even became the queen of Egypt when she married the pharaoh Amenhotep III. Her name was Queen T, and Queen T wasn't the only Nubian who moved into the palaces of Egypt. Eventually, the Nubians who lived in Kush founded their own dynasty and became pharaohs of Egypt themselves. So the Egyptians were also Africans, and the people of Africa brought their own stories, traditions, and skills into the Egyptian empire. When we read about the greatness of the Egyptians, we are also reading about the greatness of Africa. The Hyksos invade Egypt. Back up in northern Africa, Amenemhet's sons and grandsons were still ruling the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. They were strong pharaohs who kept all of Egypt united. They didn't allow conquered people like the Nubians to rebel. They made money by selling iron and gold to other countries. Egypt was rich and prosperous again. Amenemhet's family was a powerful dynasty. Do you remember what a dynasty is? It's when one family rules a country for many years. But after the dynasty of Amenemhet, other families ruled Egypt. The kings in these families were not good pharaohs. They couldn't keep control over all of Egypt's land. Once again, the priests and government workers started to quarrel with each other about who had the most power. There was no army that could fight off invaders. No one was really in charge. But this was a bad time for Egypt to become weak. Fierce enemies were getting ready to attack the pharaoh and take away his throne. These enemies were from Canaan. Do you remember reading about Canaan? In our story about Abraham, Abraham heard the voice of God telling him to go to Canaan. And do you remember what he thought? He thought, why would I go to a wilderness filled with strange wild tribes? Well, one of the strange wild tribes that lived in Canaan was called the Hyksos. They were warlike nomads who moved from place to place, looking for new land to conquer and new wealth to steal. They had been wandering around Canaan for years. A few at a time, the Hyksos had moved down into Egypt and settled. Now a huge number of Hyksos lived in the Nile Delta. There were so many that they had an entire city all on their own. Now they were ready to rule their own home. They picked up weapons and charged down to attack the pharaoh and his army. Egypt's weak army wasn't ready for such a vicious attack, and the Hyksos had weapons that the Egyptians had never used before. They used new bows that could shoot arrows much farther than the Egyptians' bows. They used war chariots pulled by horses. The Egyptian army didn't know how to fight off these invaders with their strange new weapons, so the Hyksos defeated the Egyptian soldiers and captured the largest cities of Egypt. They even took over the pharaoh's palace. From now on, the Hyksos were the rulers of Egypt. This was the end of the Middle Kingdom of Egypt. The Egyptians hated their Hyksos kings. They called them the shepherd kings. They thought that the Hyksos were rude, unclean, and uncivilized, but the Hyksos stayed in Egypt for over 100 years. Finally, a group of Egyptian princes got together and organized a rebellion. They armed themselves with strong bows, like the Hyksos bows. They got themselves war chariots pulled by horses, just like the Hyksos war chariots. They made bronze sickle-shaped swords, just like the Hyksos swords. And they drove the Hyksos out of Egypt, using fighting methods that they had learned from the Hyksos themselves. The leader of the rebellious Egyptian princes, Ahmose, became the new pharaoh of Egypt. Under Ahmose, his descendants, Egypt became stronger than ever. Egypt got back the land it had lost to the Hyksos, and the Egyptian pharaohs used their new bows, chariots, and swords to conquer even more territory. Egypt became one of the most powerful kingdoms in the world. This time in Egyptian history is called the New Kingdom of Egypt.